Hey, welcome to my channel. I'm excited to be here today for a Colorful Life Designs. I am making two cards that are Americana for the holidays, and I'm using the Merry Ho 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 stencil. Let's get started. So the first thing I'm showing you are some colors that I'm going to be possibly using for my card. I've got brown paper in different shades, including craft. And I'm also using some Americana pattern paper that I had in my stash. I've got these small ink blending brushes that are for cosmetics. I'll have a link to those below. They're from Amazon. And my inks are Rocking Red and Something Borrowed from Catherine Pooler. I'll have everything linked in my description box. The blending brushes have some residual ink from the last time that I used them. I'm just cleaning them on a piece of scratch paper. We'll start with Rocking Red, and we'll start by coloring in the stenciled letter Mary. The stenciled word Mary. So Mary ho 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 to you. I don't know that many companies that have sentiment type stencils. I see a lot with patterns. So I was really drawn to this as a design that I don't see that often. And also, the way the letters are, it just reminded me of Americana for some reason. And when I was doing a live unveiling on my YouTube channel of the entire release from A Colorful Life Designs earlier this month, and I saw this stencil, I just thought Americana. That's just where my brain went. So that's why I'm making this style of Christmas card. Now this is Something Borrowed ink, and I'm going to ink Ho 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 with that. Now my paper is not exactly craft. I wouldn't know. I would say it's more of a tan paper. So I have created this same design using similar ink colors from Catherine Pooler on a piece of genuine craft paper. I did a live earlier this month on the 2nd where I showed the different stencils from this month's collection, and I demonstrated how to use this stencil, and I used a craft paper. And when I created that stencil, I think I used Cranberry Fizz and Juniper Mist, so some more jewel tone colors. So as I'm doing this one, it just looks a little bit more brighter, and it could be because the paper is also a little bit more brighter. But I'm already on to the word to, and I'm using Rocking Red again. I'm using my Wendy Vecchi Make Art Station to hold my paper and stencil in place. It's one of my favorite tools in my craft room. Really does come in handy anytime I'm using stencils. A Colorful Life Designs is a really great company that I will have linked in my description box below. You can check out all of their fabulous stencils that they have available. And I would just ask that you click on my link to get there. And also, if you do purchase anything, I have a 10% discount code that you can use, which is TracyFan10. Now I'm switching over to the different blue ink that I have from Catherine Pooler. This one's called Suede Shoes. It's a little bit more of a darker blue. Not by much, but just enough, I think, for get the look that I'm looking for. And I am going to speed this up a little bit just for the sake of time. It just takes a little bit to ink blend with these little itty bitty ink blending brushes, but it's really worth it because I find it's much easier to get into the little nooks and crannies that maybe our regular size blending brush might struggle with. They're very soft bristles, by the way. Now I'm using Suede Shoes and Rocking Red to color in all of the little stars and little dots that surround the sentiment. I think this is going to look really nice whenever I'm done will show you the reveal up close once I'm done with this step. My plan is to mat this panel. I might have to trim it down some, but to mat it on a piece of the Americana pattern paper I have in my stash. I'm almost done here, folks. You can see that I have had an easy time ink blending, just going in for saturation purposes and re-ink blending over top of my stars and my circles. Now here comes the fun part, the reveal. I'm moving my magnets away and I'm just slowly peeling back that stencil. And I think this looks really nice. There was a little bit of bleeding, so that is something that happens if you're a little bit too heavy-handed with your blending brushes, which I'm very heavy-handed. So I'm taking a mono sand eraser and I'm just erasing some of those very small, minor cosmetic type of revision to my card panel. It was one of those that could have just been let go, but I thought I would clean it up a little bit. I have a scalloped square die where I'm cutting out the sentiment section of this stenciled panel. I also have the panel that I ink blended during my live back on the 2nd of November, where I did the reveal of all the stencils that I had for this month. And I cut it out with the same square. It's got scalloped edges. You can't really see them on the video, but now I'm trying to decide what to do next. And I decided to use my decal trimmer because I didn't have a large enough scallop square die. And I wanted to make a nice border around the words because I don't want to lose all of that stars and little dots that are part of the stenciled area. If I trimmed it down to an A2 size card, I would have lost all that. And I end up making 2 cards. One is 6 by 6 and one is like 5.5 by 5.5. But what I am able to do is swap out the frames. So this tan paper I use with the craft panel that I ink blended earlier this month. And then the craft panel, I use the square that I ink blended tonight. So I just swap them out. And I like doing that because it just gives it a little bit of variety. Here's some of that Americana pattern paper. Basically, it has stars with the red and the blue. Okay, and then I also had a piece of, well, I grabbed a piece of red for my card base. I popped the frame up with foam tape, and then I popped the sentiment panel up with foam tape ×2. So I was trying to get a little bit of height on my panel so that it popped up high above the actual frame that it's in. This gives you an idea of what I was mentioning earlier when I said I have the 2 frames switched. This pattern paper is a beautiful red shiplap or old barnwood or whatever. I just think that's so pretty. And I think that the craft card really looks wonderful against that rich red wood tone paper. I'm super pleased with how this looks. And this one I made completely flat because I'll probably mail this, and it does cost extra to mail an oversized envelope. And once you add weight and dimension, it, just even costs even more. So I thought I'd leave it flat. I have some flat back pearls from my stash. These are white, and I'm just going to use them on the R's and the O's because I want to just add a little something. And I thought those would look really cute for the letters. So that's it. Once I put these little pearls on this card, then my tutorial is done. Please stay tuned for the still photos where you'll get to see close up how everything looks under better lighting and, you know, with a nice background. Thank you so much for watching my video today. Please check out A Colorful Life Designs. Don't forget to use my discount code TracyFan10 for 10% off your order. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment. What do you think about my Americana themed holiday cards? And let me know if you're a new subscriber. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe by clicking the subscribe button and by ringing the bell so that you're notified of all my future videos. Thanks so much for watching. Have a hopeful day. Bye-bye.